Hey everybody, welcome back to my February edition of my monthly garden tours. Every month I'm going to try to document my garden in different stages so it's not such a long video. But today I wanted to kind of go over what I've been working on in my community area of my neighborhood. So it's not technically my garden, but my house is right there. So I consider it an extension of my own garden. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you what I've been working on as I got the neighborhood to agree on letting me build a pollinator garden. So I'm gonna start with a zoomed out pan of the area. We live on a cul-de-sac. Like I said, my house is over there. So it's really easy for me to take care of. Although this is a community project, I've been mainly the one orchestrating it, which is fine because it's what I like to do. And I'd rather start from a standpoint of putting the right types of plants and showing people what that can do for a pollinator garden, and let that be kind of like a teaching scenario. And then as more people help, then I can show them, hey, yeah, this is a native plant. I don't ever touch this plant. You know, like, it's very easy. Leave the mess alone, that type of thing. But yeah, so this is the entrance. This used to have juniper hedges, you know, closing in this, but they were dying. So I took those out by hand. That was a lot of work. And then this is a very new project. And like I said, since I am mainly the one doing this, I don't want to spend a ton of money on it. So a lot of things are going to be from seed, propagation from my house, donations, things I can do for free, so on and so forth. So basically, when you walk in, I got these limestone rocks from my dad's house. And then these little edges are going to be filled with annuals. So I have in here, there's bachelor buttons. So not everything is going to be native. Some of it will be annual pollinator flowers, just pretty things. But mostly the bones of it are going to be native plants. Like I said, I have bachelor buttons, a weed. I have tick seed. Native tick seed, more bachelor buttons, more weeds. I do have some sweet alyssum growing, and I actually got these from Dollar Tree, and I started marking things because I don't want anyone to come in here and try to be helpful and then think they're pulling out a weed and they actually pull out these plants, because it has taken me some time to get some things going. This is actually buckwheat. I seeded buckwheat in here over the winter and some of it went to seed. So I have alyssum, tick seed, some buckwheat, bachelor buttons. These are two salvias. Those are not native to Florida, but they attract such amazing amount of pollinators in my own yard that I wanted to add them in here because they really require almost no care once they're established, just like a native plant does. And I really don't think you can beat how robust they end up being. So I really just like that plant. And then the same thing is mimicked over here. Now I do have more alyssum, and I have yarrow growing at my own house from seed. So once those are bigger, I'm going to be transplanting a lot of that out here. Also native liatris and goldenrod, native to Florida too. So that will be out here. So let's just say in here, this was one plant of Florida green eyes, which is a native wildflower here. This will spread out in this little area. There was a scorpion tail behind there, but I don't see it anymore. I had to take out a bay laurel tree from here because it was half dead and took up this whole center spot. Over here, like I said, it's still winter, so I mean nothing is really taking off, but I wanted to get a video record of what things look like at this time of year. So these are native porterweed. There's 2 of them here. They look very puny because of the cold, but they will come back. Passion flower, corky stem, passion vine. That is a host plant and a good pollinator plant, native. You'll see where I had blanket flower seeds and I tossed them here, and so we have little blanket flowers growing. This was a sour orange tree that I brought back to life from my grandma's house, and I'm using it as a host plant for the giant swallowtail. And it actually has had caterpillars on it, so can't wait for more. A neighbor donated a Meyer lemon tree. It'll end up being a host plant. This was just a stump, and I set this on here to put water in it. It's empty right now. Another reason I marked things is because there were things that didn't have any green growth up top, like milkweed. And so I wanted to mark where it was, so I remembered, and nobody else tramped through here. So this is the orange butterfly milkweed, native to Florida. This is another type of milkweed that I took out of my yard, and I don't really know which one it is. So there was 2 milkweeds in here, but I don't see but one. But what I do see are these these are liatris seedlings. I had planted liatris all in the middle here. It was so pretty in the fall. I'll show some pictures on here. And the seeds just germinate so readily. It's amazing. And I have about 1,000 seeds germinated in my backyard too. So maybe I'll sell some. Here's another salvia. This is actually the salvia that I have in my house. At my house, I didn't write the cultivar name, but this is the one that grows really big, and that's what I thought those were. Those grow a little smaller. I have those also, but this one, the bumblebees love this, so that'll be really pretty here. And this is a starry rosinweed, which is native to Florida, so that'll be yellow. And between the yellow and the orange and the purple, this little area will be really pretty. This has nothing really in it right now. There's some tiny seedlings like blanket flower and more liatris, but that'll grow up throughout the season, and I have more seedlings to put in there. So nothing there right now. And here I have a coneflower, which I was so proud of blooming. But now it's going to seed, which is fine because the birds, if you look, the birds have been eating it, which is exactly what I wanted. And then the seeds, I'm just going to let them fall and do their thing, because that's the nice thing about plants like this, is they spread. So then I have another blanket flower, dill. I planted dill because I just love dill. It's great for pollinators, but it's also a host plant for a couple different swallowtail butterflies. And those are the types of things I want people to learn. Some of the most uncommon things that you would think of putting in a butterfly garden are herbs and different types of fruit-bearing trees. And it's not just about flowers. The butterflies need host plants, and that's really what's going to attract them. There's also other little liatris seedlings spread around here. There was a dotted horse mint in here, or a bee balm native to Florida. If that doesn't come back, I have plenty in my backyard. I will bring one out here. There's more blanket flower. Blanket flower reseeds everywhere. Look at it. Everywhere. And then in this middle, it was like a little horseshoe. I have more liatris all popping up. This is one that didn't completely die back to the ground, but that's what it will look like throughout the year, and then it'll spike in the fall with a tall, oh look, a bee. Are you dead? You're dead. Aww. But look, he decided this was going to be his final resting place in the pollinator garden. How sweet. Actually, I don't think it's a bee. It's some kind of, I don't know, hornet? Who knows? And then more milkweed. So there's 2 milkweed plants in here. So yeah, so this is the February view of the pollinator garden. And my neighbors are starting to come home, so I probably should wrap this up before they think I'm crazy. So yeah, stay tuned for the progress of the other areas of my garden and for the March and beyond progress of this one. Bye!